What's up, everybody? It's me, Aaron P, the motherfucker to be, and this is Stupid Movie Tuesday, where I watch the movies, I review the movies, and I definitely tell them that you should go watch them. I don't think I've ever told anybody not to watch something, honestly, but this is a good week. This show might be the longest Stupid Movie Tuesday that I've done in a while, because I got a lot to say. As you can read by the title, I went to go see a very divisive movie. Apparently, I went to go see Star Wars: The Last Jedi this past weekend, and you know what? I'm gonna start off first off and say I enjoyed the movie. I stopped and thought about it. The more I thought about this movie, the more I liked it. Then I actually watched it again. I've seen this movie twice already, and I like it. So let's get into the movie itself, and then let's just get started with the show. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to everybody who's listening to this show. Thank you to everybody who's subscribed, sharing it with your friends, and all that stuff. Thank you for everybody who's become part of the show in some way, shape, form, or another. And yeah, thank you guys for all that. You guys can catch me every week, every Tuesday at Dave & Buster's in Hollywood. I host Terrifically Tough Tuesday Trivia. I'll be doing that later on this evening. This will be our last show for the year. So for like the next 2 weeks, we will be... I'll be on hiatus from trivia until the 2nd of January. Put it like that. I don't have a calendar in front of me, so I don't know how many fucking weeks it's going to be. But 2nd of January is when we'll be back with trivia after today. Today is our final, so if you still want to come down and play, you can win some big-ass, better-ass prizes. I'm packing up some prizes tonight that I'm taking down. My homeboy Lance is coming down to clown. He's my co-host, and we're gonna have a good ass time. So, anyway, Star Wars: The Last Jedi. This is a continuation of the Star Wars franchise. This is the 8th film proper, 9th altogether, because there's the original series, which was back in the 70s and 80s. Then they did the prequel series, which was in the late 90s, early 2000s. Now they're doing a tertiary sequel, which is the passing of the torch. And I'm going to say that term a couple times. It's the passing of the torch from the old to the new. And boy, do people have some problems with that. But before I get into that, let me talk about me for a little while. I didn't have a show last week. Why didn't I have a show last week? Last week I had possibly the best week ever when it comes to like my entertainment career. I've been shooting web series. I got a chance to do some movie work also as well. Did some production assisting, all that. It was a really, really good week for me last week, and unfortunately that bit into my time to record this podcast. I do apologize for that, as I previously had a free and clear schedule, but a lot of cool shit had popped up. I got a lot of cool shit on board for next year, which I'm very happy about. I'm also getting ready for a birthday. My birthday's coming up. My birthday is December 31st every year, and I'll be 34 this year. So I'm very happy about that. I'm very literally still trying to figure out what the fuck I'm going to do. This is going to sound weird as hell when I say this. I'm trying to think about what the fuck I'm going to do with my hair for my birthday. I don't know if I'm growing it out. I don't know if I'm going to cut this shit back off again. I'll figure it out. Put it like that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. What's going on with me? Working on some new cosplay shit. I got like a month and a half to get a new costume together, because I got the Long Beach Comic Expo coming in February. My February is going to be fucking crazy because my niece turns 1, so I'm going to Chicago for that. Then that following week, I'm probably going to be just cruising. Like that following week, I got the comic convention. I got all types of shit going on in February that I'm very happy about. Black Panther's coming out. I got shows coming up. I got all types of cool shit going on in February. So yeah, life is good. So we're just gonna keep it all simple and keep it all moving. But you know, we're good. Everything's good. Everything's on and popping. But huh? What else is going on with me? That's pretty much it. Like I can't really go into too much shit because of non-disclosure agreements and all that shit. But other than that, things are great. Health is fine. My workouts are doing great. I just got back from the gym not too long ago. Had me a nice post-workout meal. And now in the background, I have Kit Harington's new show on called Gunpowder. Check it out on HBO. It already debuted on the BBC a couple months ago. That's the British Broadcasting Channel for you perverts out there that heard BBC and heard something else. Trust me, I do the same shit. Don't even trip. But but yeah, so life is good. Now let's get into Star Wars. Now let's start. What did I like about this movie? You know what I liked about this movie? I like that this movie, one, has a lot of diverse characters. Like the original Star Wars trilogy, there was very little diversity. Honestly, it took us to get to the second movie to get Lando Calrissian. Honestly, and that was a question that I asked myself. I'm sorry, I'm going to jump around a lot. That was a question I asked myself while I was watching this movie. Even when I was watching The Force Awakens, like, what's Lando Calrissian been doing? Like, can I get, like, just something? Just be like, hey, Lando passed away doing something like this. Or Lando Billy D. Williams is still alive, and I'm 50% sure that he didn't turn down a role in this or whatever. But I would love to know what happened to Lando Calrissian, because as a kid I liked Lando. Lando was cool than a motherfucker. Billy D. Williams cool than a motherfucker. So that's one. I was like, where's Lando? But anyway, I like that this movie had like some characters, and I like a lot of the messages in this movie that a lot of people who are complaining about this movie either didn't get or they heard it and got mad. This movie has a very, very deep theme of letting go of the past. Luke Skywalker is saying, hey, the Jedi needs to go. Luke Skywalker, the last movie ends with Luke Skywalker being found on this island, on this planet, and no one knows where he's at. He went into hiding and was just like, fuck this shit, I'm just going away. After a colossal fucking failure that he had. Now, Luke is just bitter. He's just angry and just bitter and just like, you know what, fuck it. I lived my life like believing in the wrong things, and shit popped off and happened. I'm just gonna just wash my hands of this shit and go away and let this shit die off. He doesn't want anything to do with the Jedi anymore. He's done. He's at the original Jedi temple, and he's just done. When Rey finds him, she hands him his old lightsaber, which was his father's old lightsaber, and he's like, fuck this shit. He just throws it off. This movie does have a funny tone to it, too. I like that, actually. I actually did. Now, there were some times where there were, like, too many jokes, where, like, some things were serious, and then somebody just had to make a joke about it. Didn't particularly like that, but, whatever. That's cosmetic shit. I can do without it, whatever. Because I was talking to a friend of mine who... I actually saved that story for a little bit later when I get to what I want to say to certain people. Now, Luke meets Rey. She's just basically there to bother. He's telling her to go away and all that shit. And then he agrees to teach her like 3 lessons. And the 3 lessons that he teaches her is like, yeah, this is why I want this shit to end. This is why the Jedi are bad. This is why all this shit that you heard about the Force is wrong. I like that. Now, I also like the ceremonial changing of the guards in this movie as well, because again, this whole series is basically about keeping this franchise going, but at the same time, you can't keep this franchise going on the past. This shit has to progress. It has to naturally move forward, and the only way to do that is to introduce new people to carry that torch. You know? Like, a lot of people are complaining about this movie because it didn't hit their expectations, whatever the fuck expectations that they had in their brain. You know? My thing is, as much as I like Luke Skywalker, as much as I like Princess Leia, as much as I like Han Solo, I don't want to watch old, elderly versions of these people still doing the same shit. I'm sorry. I just don't. I cringe when I see old gangbangers. I cringe when I see, like, just anybody doing the same shit that they was doing years ago. Big reason why I left Arizona is because I saw myself doing the same shit all the time. And if I did not get away from it, I would feel about Arizona the same way that I feel about Chicago. And I never want that to happen again. You know? You can't keep living in the past thinking that things are just great. Because if you keep reminiscing about the good old days, you're going to miss today. You know? The good old days can be right fucking now if you allow it to be. That's what I liked about this movie. This movie had fun. This movie did some things, you know. This movie took risks and was like, alright, you know what, we're just going to do something different. You know, the first movie was a tribute to A New Hope. This movie we're going to do something totally different with. And they did. Because I thought that opening scene, I'm going to the spoiler territory, so if you ain't seen this shit, you shouldn't be listening. But I thought that opening scene was just like an opening battle and then they were going to go do something else. No, that is a big chunk of this movie. You know? And like people are complaining about like the time skips and shit. And like, because the shit with Leia and, the shit with Luke and Rey took place over a couple days. However, like the space chase was like over a couple hours. I can get past that. I really can, because I can make some sense out of it into the shit with Rey happened way before that space chase, and like the last couple of days, the last day of it is when the space chase happened. I can put my hand around that because movies do that. I'm not saying that all this shit happened concurrently. Also, time is different on different planets in space. You know? Straight up. Like, Mercury, a year on Mercury is only 66 days. Compared to a year on Earth. So that's what I'm saying. Like things can go by day by day by day by day on certain things. And this is like in a galaxy, so they're in different planets and shit all the time. So I'm like, alright, what? And then there's light speed and supersonic speed and shit. You know, so the time thing, I can get past that because, again, this is a fucking fantasy movie about space wizards and shit. I'm good with that. Whatever. Tell the story how you want to fucking tell the story. What didn't I like about this movie? Because there were some things I didn't like. And the things I didn't like are minor in compared to the things that I did like. The things I didn't like. I didn't know Leia could use the Force. I did not know that. I didn't know. Also, I didn't know that she could use it in the vacuum of space. So I'm like, You know, I was kind of weirded out by that, but at the same time, you know, whatever, creative licenses. Her twin brother is the only Jedi left in the universe at this point. So I'm like, all right, you know what? Cool, fine. She can do that. And what I didn't like about that part, and this is something selfish from me. As we all know, almost a year ago, Carrie Fisher passed away. She had passed away right after she had filmed all of her scenes for this movie. So I honestly, and like most people, were sitting in the theater just trying to see at what point were they gonna give her send off. And there was a point in this movie where it would have been perfect. In my eyes, and I'm not speaking for everyone else. In my eyes, that would have been a perfect send-off for her and would have just given more emotional depth to it and stuff. And she did the Forrest Mary Poppins thing and ran it back into the ship. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Princess Leia does live to the end of this movie, which, you know, cool. Now, they're going to have to explain why she's not there. In the next one, they might do like a time jump in the future. So, it'll just be like, you know, well, she passed away naturally. Alright, I get that. Totally get it.